Alright, so this is the tutorial for Upstream skip. It's a really difficult skip, so if you're a beginner learning the game, I guess you can learn this skip, but I would suggest like not doing it in runs because it's really precise, really difficult to do. But yeah, the skip has two parts to it. The first part actually requires a submarine jump, so I suggest like practicing those as much as possible until you get them down. And the other part is a clip into a wall that is pixel perfect. But yeah, so for the first part you actually need triple mask form. So you need to exit the Great Gate with at least one mask. Or you can enter upstream without masks and grab the first one and then exit and re-enter. Obviously the second option is like a lot slower, but it is still faster than not going for the skip. But yeah, like as I said, really hard skip, saves like 50 to a minute, I wanna say. So yeah, alright, going to the first part. As I said, you need invincibility, and you need a sub jump because you need to break this box that's below the bridge. I'm gonna break it right now. So yeah, there. Note that you can do the sub jump in different ways. So how I did it in that first attempt, I went all the way to the checkpoint, broke it, and then I went back and did the sub jump like that. You can also do it from like the middle of the log, which is actually the fastest way. And sometimes the box just breaks through the log, like it's really precise, but I guess we take those whenever it happens. Alright, after getting that box, we get to the second part of the skip, which is a jump onto the wall. If you have seen the skip before, I'm gonna like put a video right now, and then I'll try to explain what's going on. So what happens is that like the walls have different, like, very weird properties. I'm not entirely sure about the technicalities of it, but like at certain intervals there's clips where you can actually spin and jump and like you get on top of them. You can see that in like Cortex Power as well. So in any case, like, walls are weird in this game. So there's a specific pixel that you can jump off, do a diagonal, and like clip on it. I'll leave a picture of the different positions that will work for this skip, but yeah, there's a lot of different setups for this. I personally like using the up left corner setup more, but you can use different positionings to get it. Another thing that's worth mentioning is that we pause only to like check the positioning to see if it works. You can in theory do the skip without pausing, but it gives you less time to check on the positioning since the lily pad falls down. So pausing makes it a bit more consistent. So I'm like gonna show you. This positioning I think is good enough for it to work, but reminder, it's pixel perfect, so there's a chance like it won't work because I'm not exactly familiar with like all the possible positionings, and there's not any reliable way of like having a visual cue really, because first of all the lily pad falls down after some time. Obviously it's not gonna fall there right now because I have the game paused, but after some time it just falls. So you have very limited time to set up crash, so you cannot like reliably do a visual cue, so you just kinda have to like do it a lot and like kinda tell if it's gonna work, I guess, at that point. So here I know this should work. Yeah. And what's next is that there's actually holes in this upper area. So there's two holes that you can fall in. So there's one over this spot, right? Like where I'm walking right now. I got the correct spot, so I'm not gonna get any holes here, but like depending on how long you hold diagonal while going up, once you reach the top you can actually find these holes. I leave a picture of Tebt's like diagram, like rough diagram or of where the holes are. But yeah, so what I do, and what I think every runner does at this point, is immediately, once you climb to the top, immediately let go of the diagonal and just press up. That's the most consistent setup to not get the holes. Although, if you still want to like avoid the holes, I would suggest jumping here, and then here as well. There will be another hole right here in this section. I'll just put an arrow where the holes are roughly. Then you could just jump down here by pressing upright and land on this plant here, and then you can just finish the level. As I said, it's a very, very hard skip. I'll try to be like in most detail as possible and try to voice over like stuff that I wasn't clear. If you have like any questions about this skip, like message me, message Tebt, or Rex. We are the 3 current runners that do it. Koji is like currently not doing runs, so that's why I don't mention him. But yeah. And try different setups and like try to find one that you're comfortable with, because it's a skip that just takes a lot of practice to get down more or less consistently. I think like the best consistency is probably 20% of the times. It's a really hard skip, so alright.